One.
Hi, my friends, and welcome to another stream of Adobe Live. I'm your host, Kieran Lewis, designer from London. And on today's stream, we have someone who is no stranger to the Adobe Live community. You know who she is. We got the wonderful creator, streamer, and community moderator, Voodoo Val. How you doing, Val?
Hello. I'm super excited. We've got new stuff happening today, right? Because me and you are on the stream
Yes.
together, right?
It's
Um
been years. Yeah.
and it's been years, but it also hasn't. It feels like we hang out every
Yeah.
day. I feel like every time we do talk,
Yeah.
it feels like we're just getting back together, getting the gang back together, you know?
I love it. I love it. I love it. And to be fair, even before we came on the stream, without like giving too much away, we definitely were talking about TV shows, whatever.
Oh
Just
yeah.
geeking out, geeking out. Can we get out of the way now before we talk about all things creative?
hmm
But of course, let's give some love to the guys in the chat because I can see folks are in there as well. We've got Sean, we've got Jack. Again, people, my friends, any comments you have for the wonderful Val whilst we're in the stream and we're going through her design process, let us know in the chat. And as always, I send some love on Behance, YouTube. You can probably see us in the chat now. Let those comments come in flying. And on a very final note, please don't forget to subscribe YouTube channel and follow us at Adobe Live or Instagram for latest streams and updates. So Val, you know how it goes. I mean,
Yeah.
give the folks a little intro about who you are, my dear.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop over here to my stream or my screen so that you guys can
Let's
see
do
some
it.
of my work. I'm running production today, so this is a juggling
Yes.
of stuff, which is kind of cool, kind of
You're
fun.
juggling awesomely.
Yeah. So I am a dark fantasy artist predominantly, but I have been doing a lot of graphic design as well. Graphic design is one of those things that I think as a designer you kind of pick up a lot of hats throughout your career, right?
Mm,
And you kind of figure out stuff to add to the repertoire along the way, and graphic design is definitely one of those. But mostly I do illustration. So I have
mm.
I've done some posters for Star Wars. I have worked with Dimension 20 and Dropout, doing some illustrations for, if you guys have ever watched Smarty Pants, or if you
Okay.
watch Dimension 20's Coffin Run. I've
Casual name
done.
drops. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, I'm trying to.
So
I'm the guest
casual.
today. Usually I'm doing like the show, like a game show, or I'm the host.
Yeah.
So I get to talk about me today. um,
I love it. I love it.
yeah, so cool stuff like that. I've got some like a cutesy art style, and then I also have kind of a dark fantasy, like I said, art style. But today we're going to be working on branding for a brand that I am involved with called MPC, and I'm super
Mm.
excited to kind of tell you guys a little bit about it, and dive into what we're going to be working on. We're going to be creating some templates and things that we can use because we do not have a presence on social media yet. We have the empty
Early
profile.
days.
Yeah, we have the empty
Clean slate.
profile
I
so
like
far.
it.
So I do have some branding that I've done a little bit of
Hmm.
already, and the route we're kind of taking this branding is like very throwback, very like 90s VHS grunge kind of stuff.
Okay.
So we're
I
trying
like that
like a
stuff.
little hint of Stranger Things, to be
I
perfectly
was gonna
honest.
say. I wasn't gonna
Yeah.
say it. I wasn't gonna say it, but you said it. There we
Yeah,
go.
it's very it's definitely like a lot of the stuff that we do is like an echo of our past. And so MPC stands for Narrative Perversion Coven. It is a group of three gals who we are all writers, and narrative perversion being like the like subverting the expectations of what you typically see in storytelling, right? So we are
Mm.
all very much into the spooky and the scary, but we are also very much into kind of doing the thing, maybe not that you would least expect, but kind of changing up, switching up the
Switching
the
up.
status quo. For example, Jasmine Billar, who you folks may know from DesiQuest or shows like Acquisitions Incorporated. She's also
Mm.
DM'd for Critical Role, and also for Dropout on Dimension 20 and tons of other places. She
Okay.
has her own D&D actual play that I was lucky enough to get to illustrate on, and it's Dungeons and Dragons,
Sweet.
but the entire thing is Southeast Asian inspired, so it's all Indian folklore rather
Ah.
than European folklore.
Sure.
stuff like that, so kind of changing it
Mixing it
up.
up.
Yeah, mixing
Yeah,
it
I
up a little
love it.
bit. Yeah, so it's been a pleasure, and I am going to kind of dive into how I came up with the ideas that I came up with, and then we're going to start kind of jumping into some work. So I do have a Pinterest board.
Nice.
Um,
Let's do it.
and you can see my Pinterest board is very much, like the old Atari logo and animation, a lot of the like PBS logos. And if you
Mm,
remember those, those things on cable TV that like the HBO, like you can kind of see that
yeah,
where
I remember
that
that.
and I've kind of got one of these with like the three bars coming in, which I was like,
Mm,
should I do that? But then I was like, I found like 18 different company logos that had those three lines. So I was like, I think this
it's
was
just the
just a thing.
go-to thing.
Yeah,
The
it's just a thing
go-to.
they were doing. But like it would slide in with like some cheesy music,
Yeah.
and then have like a
Cheesy,
little
I'm down for it.
yeah, it is near and dear to my heart as well,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
and then I also have like all of these old like classic horror movie title cards and stuff like that, like that
Mm,
grit, that that vibe. The nothing's really quite sharp because everything's a little bit
yeah.
blurry,
Rough around the edges. Yeah. It's
light
supposed to be,
leaks,
right?
color bleeds, that kind of stuff.
Mm,
And
mm.
then also, as far as how we kind of take this and what I've got so far and kind of translate it, I've also got some really great inspiration for what our Instagram could be. So I've got a couple of brands that I really liked. One of them is the Hood Witch. Because I
Mm.
like that it's all very occult, very esoteric, very creepy, spooky, but then you have like these cards that are like bold with like a neon font, something that's just like a little
Yeah.
bit odd, just a little bit strange,
What is good?
a little
Yeah.
creepy, so kind of looking at the Hood Witch for inspiration, and also Olio, which is a duo of women from India that do like jewelry design and stuff. And
Okay.
I really liked this one specifically because, of course, you have all the products and everything that are being shown, but then as you scroll down through here, you can see they also do a lot of information too, where
Mm,
there's like photos of, from the past, the history of the people who were working on the project. There's artwork for the sake of telling a story or telling a little bit
mm.
about the culture, stuff like that. So we really liked these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna kind of go through and I'm gonna show you how I put all this stuff together.
Amazing. It's
Um,
so beautifully created, by the way. That was like amazing to sort of see that kind of come together. And
yeah.
there is such an algorithm and such a like strategy to go behind it, which sometimes folks don't always take, remember
Mm-hmm.
that part. There is a method to the madness, which is why you guys are here, right? You folks are
Yeah.
here streaming and watching us to see how the method works.
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely.
that's
Kind
awesome.
of. Well, I thought, because sometimes and I'm going to show you as we get into the process here. I have things that I
Mm,
have to do in order to kind of stay motivated and keep my eye on the ball. One of which is um, I do need to create a brand. This is a library that I've created
mm,
that I've set to use as a brand here in Adobe Express. So I've got fonts that I really liked. I've got all of the different colors that we use for MPC. I also did different colorways for the logo. I have some pre-made graphics that I've done already, and then texture elements things and a couple pieces of the merchandise and things that we've got, because we do a lot of stickers right now. Stickers
Stickers are
are,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
show those off.
Nice.
But the way that I like to do it is I like to set myself up for success. So I've got my little, my first initial pass at branding here. I've got a little
Mm,
start to a piece here. And then what I also like to do is I like to come in and I like to add things that I've maybe already done, already completed to my pages, so that when I go and I look, this is also very, you can see the Stranger Things vibe for sure
That's
here.
twice you referenced it now. I'm waiting
Yep.
for the first.
There's gonna be,
I
honestly, I
love.
feel like we should all kind of talk about our favorite stuff like that, though. Maybe not the
Yes,
details, no
yes, so important.
spoilers,
I was gonna say no spoilers, chat. No spoilers. Come on, come on.
but
Let's
it's
play
like
nice.
this whole brand is definitely built on a love of pop culture,
Mm, mm.
and culture
100%.
in general, but a
Mm.
lot of pop culture things that we love. So
Mm.
when I come in here and I look at my all of my pages, I'm not looking at a blank empty space. I can do like a little brand overview if I want. I'm gonna pop this in here, I think, this purple version. Oops, I already did that. Just so that like when I'm looking around here, I'm like, okay, I've got stuff going on. You know, I'm not
Mm.
lost, I'm not floundering here in the middle of my brand. I've got ideas, I've got things happening,
Active.
you know,
Yeah.
and then I can start to kind of jump in and create some stuff. Now, the first thing I want to do is I actually want to create like an intro animation for MPC, something that
Mm.
can like play on a loop and then have like a description of who we are and what we do in place of having headshots, because we haven't taken headshots altogether yet.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to go to my brands, and I know, you know, like I said, we are doing like a VCR kind of scrappy look. So what
Mm.
I want to do is I want to snag one of our more detailed kind of artsy logo pieces. I'm going to do something like this. And I am going to grab one of my little backgrounds. I'm thinking, honestly, what might be really cool is
Is
this
that like a
guy.
mountain sort of drop, like sort of silhouette? I'm trying to the
They're
inside of that logo.
all like kind of like dust scratches, old film, you
Mm.
know, kind
Okay,
of
I gotcha.
grain, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because we felt like that was what was going to kind of convey things the best as far as like
Mm.
the kind of gritty texture we're looking for. I'm gonna go ahead and put this, set the background to gray, and I'm gonna just to see, I'm gonna see if
Okay.
multiply ends up doing
You can
something
already see
interesting.
like it starting to come to life just by using those sort of textured grainy effects. I do love that.
Yeah, just like, so it's not like a black background, it has something to
Mm.
it.
Bit more
And
depth.
then I think we can also, something that I love to do, especially with this type of thing, is I like to come into the media, and I'll type in VCR into our videos,
Mm.
and grab like a VCR grain texture from somewhere. So let's see if we can do like, I want something that's like a scratched video is what I want. Something like, you know, like the lines across the
Mm.
noise. Something like this could maybe work.
I feel like for
But
those in the chat watching this, it's like there's such a hit into nostalgia sort of space of just like remember growing up. But depending obviously the generation you're at and the era that you grew up in, but there's probably some. I mean, let us know in the chat, folks. Are there any sort of nostalgia feels you're getting from watching this stream? I'm definitely getting them for sure.
yeah, I think this is like, it's kind of reminding me of all the movies that I used to watch when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
before DVD days, you know, just
Yeah.
VHS.
I actually think this one's going to work for us really well. Like, I'm just going to, you know, kind of stretch this
Mm.
out a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, okay, that's perfect grain. And we're going to put multiply or screen, actually. Yeah, we're going to do screen. Um, yeah. So then we have like, okay, there's our logo. There's like a little bit of texture in the back. We've got like the subtle grain of
Nice.
like an old VCR over the top. And then I think that we can even like go a little bit further with this. And I think we can make it, we can add the 80s, 90s cheese that is so beloved. You know what I mean?
We love the cheese. We love the cheese.
Right,
Yeah.
we do. And I think that we can do that by, I'm going to come into adjustments and I'm going to add a little bit of a blur on this. So that's just like slightly out of focus.
Mm.
And then I think that we would add, or should add like an odd animation to it. Like not one that you would
Okay.
normally like do, but like, you know how stuff would like slide in,
Yeah.
you know, or like
I don't know what I'm
tumble.
thinking of like power. I don't know what my brain's thinking like 80s, 90s like PowerPoint. You know, it was like really cheesy,
Yes,
like
yes.
cheesy enough that back then it was terrible, but like now you could probably call it retro and be okay with it. You know what I mean? That kind of
Yes,
like
exactly
swipe
that.
in, swipe out.
So we could do, I kind of like this spin, because it's like, Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na. And then it would
Now on
have like
Adobe
a bird. Yeah, exactly. Boom.
Live.
And in fact, something that we could do too is so we have like NPC kind of like tumbling in there. And then we could also do, if we wanted to add text, something that I think would be very on brand, is if we go, let me find like a good font for this. And I don't think we're going to find it in like the fonts that I've chosen for this specific brand. I didn't anticipate doing this, but I should have, considering what I'm making. But we're gonna try. I'm
That's
gonna
the beauty,
see.
right? We're off the bat. Just let's see where we go with it.
Yeah, let's see if we get. And this might not end up looking good, but we're gonna try. We're gonna experiment. I'm gonna just put like a subtitle or secondary text, because I don't know what would go here, and this is going to be a template, so like it doesn't have to say the thing that we want it to say. It just has to have a place so that if I want to come back and make this into something very specific for a specific purpose, I can edit that text. So I'm going to say secondary text here, and I'm going to change this to, let's see if our brand red, how our brand red shows up with this, because it's kind of like, I don't know if you would call this a red. I'm not sure. It's almost like a salmon tomato, to be honest. But we can
salmon tomato. I love that term. Is that an official? That's the official brand.
Yeah, that's the official brand name.
We're going with it. That's it. You heard it here, folks. There we go.
Let me see if I can do, yeah, secondary text, and let's do let's go into effects, and I want to do like a shadow, but I want it to be like pretty dark to kind of separate it from there. I'm not sure if that's really hitting the mark, but I think that once I animate it, like there we go.
It'll make all the difference, won't it?
Because you know the 80s stuff, it always has like the big, bold, like metallic stuff, and then like somebody just took a paintbrush and like wrote the secondary thing. And it's usually like catacorner awkwardly, but it's fine.
It's okay.
And I'm gonna say
this is the 80s. It's fine.
Yeah, and I think that the vibe is there for sure. I'm gonna come into edit timeline, and I'm going to bump this secondary text around, just so that it kind of comes in, so the animation happens. Yeah. Okay. So it'll be like this.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. The concept's there. The concept's there.
Yeah.
We can play with that. I'm trying not to make a tangent here with that T at the end of the C, but if I mess with it too much, I'll be here all day. So I'm gonna leave that. Maybe I'll come back and find a different font for it if I want to. But I also want to make a template for something that we might use to show off our work. Like stuff that we've made. So for example, this is a sticker that I illustrated for us, and it's Lich Please. Like I don't know if you're familiar with a lich.
Okay. No, but
like
I mean, educate us
you
for
know,
not.
she's an undead baddie, okay?
Okay.
And it is a play on a common turn of phrase, which I cannot state the original turn of phrase because this is a family-friendly stream.
Of course, I was gonna child-friendly episode,
you know, but Lich Please, we thought it was like real cheeky, you know, a little sassy, you know.
Okay.
And
my brain caught up eventually. Sorry, my brain did catch up.
I saw you were like, and then
I was
you
buffering.
smirked.
My brain was buffering. My brain was buffering. I'm not the only one, surely, in the chat. Let me know.
Hey, Paul Weaver, welcome in. It's good to see you, by the way. It's been a long time. So the Lich Please is definitely one that we had a lot of fun with. And we were thinking of, you know, when we were coming up with this, I remember Jasmine was like, hey, I want to do like a sticker with a lich on it. And she had sent some like reference images and stuff through, and I was like, oh, this is super sweet, this is super sick, I love this. And then I remember I was going through, and they're usually like, when you think of like, if you're a fantasy guy at all, or if anybody in the chat is like a fantasy guy, the liches are typically like scary old men. And I was like, what if she was like, what if she was like a baddie? What if she was like, you know, like her hair was
What
on
if?
point,
What
you
if? I
know?
love it.
Like what if it was a lady lich and then Jasmine was like, lich please. And I was like, that's the
That's it.
sticker.
It's stuck.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Oh,
So I'm gonna do like an
that's hilarious.
animation with this, and I'm gonna select the group and copy that, and then go. By the way, you can copy from page to page if you want.
Mm, nice.
So I did like a control or command if you're working on a Mac. C, and then I can come into this. Ooh, you know what? I didn't want to make that a square. I wanted to, let's do a custom size. I'm gonna do pixels. We're gonna do 1080 by 1920. We're gonna do like your standard. It could be a reel, it could be a story, it could be, you know, whatever it is you're looking to create. So we're gonna go ahead and say add page. Control or Command V to paste this in here, and I'm gonna kind of just fit that right in there, and we're gonna start messing around. So again, because I've got all of my branding and stuff set up pretty well, I can come in and I can put like a dark background on this if I want to, or I mean, maybe we do like, I don't know if we do the green. We're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna come in and snag some of my images. I really liked this one that was in the other piece, but I'm gonna turn this and kind of use blending modes to like add, because I just like, and this is again, now that you can kind of see it closer, because you were like, are these mountains? They're all various like kind of mess ups or like ruined
like
film
mishaps.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And I really like that. And we're gonna put okay, yeah, the green, that is how I kind of achieved that same green. This one is a little darker, but I like this pretty well. In fact, I might even, I could do it that
Whilst
way.
you're doing that, I can just see in the chat we've got some new folks who've just joined us, and I can see as well organic. I think it's Ox. This is a live stream. It is indeed a live stream. So, but again, any questions you have for the wonderful Val whilst we are designing in Adobe Express, do let us know. Or if there's something you want to see, or if there's something like a tool that she's used and you're curious to know a bit more, just let us know in the chat. I'm sure we'll be happy to walk it through. So, so yeah, welcome if you have just joined us. And this is definitely a live stream, but of course it will also be here once we're finished too, so you can always rewatch as well.
Absolutely. Also, welcome in, Organic Sponge Gang.
I love that name, by the way.
That's very unique.
It is very unique. Caught my attention. Yeah.
And we are working on some branding assets, as Jack said, and we're also definitely, you know, kind of getting inspiration from our favorite. I was gonna say our favorite stuff from our childhoods, but I realize everybody probably has a different childhood, different.
I was gonna say, and also I don't know, generations. We are so linked in by the Adobe Live community. We're all plugged into one generational childhood. I love that.
Can I speak German? No, I cannot speak German. I cannot. I can speak a little bit of Spanish and a little bit of Japanese, but it's mostly because I am a massive nerd, and
dude, that's awesome.
Okay.
Actually, you're name dropping these brands, name dropping these languages. I'm like, wow, I didn't know you moved in these circles.
I just watch anime, Kieran. I just watch anime.
I hear you. Attack on Titan. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay, we could
it's
geek out.
It's my favorite. We could geek out forever. We could geek out.
That's another stream. If for like another day, if anyone wants to watch that one, we're just geeking out.
Absolutely. Okay, so I like this. I like this background. What I ended up doing, instead of putting it on a multiply, which maybe I kind of could anyways. Yeah, maybe I'll do that actually. So I am gonna leave this on multiply, but what I did was I added a duotone to it. I came into effects and added our brand gray and our brand green, and then putting that on a multiply does like kind of saturate it a little bit, which I'm not really displeased with some of the colors turning out slightly different than the branding, because we're gonna have merchandise that doesn't fit into brand colors all the time, and this color suits the sticker. So we're gonna do this, and then I'm also going to figure out how we can animate this. I think in keeping with our glitch stuff, we're going to add
Mm.
some flicker to this. So
Okay.
so this is two pieces. In this group, I have like the shape, backing shape, and then I have the illustration. But I'm going to animate the group instead of animating the image.
Mm.
And if you are somebody who animates a lot in Adobe Express, I cannot stress enough, as you're animating, never forget rather you are animating an image or animating a group, because I had a heck of a time a couple of weeks ago trying to figure out, where is this animation? I'm looking at all of it and it says that
I
there's
know it's
no
here, but
looping
I can't see
animation.
it.
Yeah, it's the whole group was animated and I was like, okay, I get it.
Ah,
So
there
I'm gonna say that this is gonna just I do like that flicker a lot. Some people might not like the flicker. I'm not sure, to be honest. You guys will have to tell me.
Let us know
Um,
in the chat. Are you team flicker or yes to the flicker, no to the flicker? Let us know. Each to their own.
yeah,
I
I,
think
I,
I'm good
I
for.
personally, I like it. I think it's
Yeah,
a little grungy, a
ditto.
little creepy. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I want to come into edit timeline here, and see where this is animating. So I've clicked that and I'm just gonna bump this here and here because I know that I want to add some informative text beforehand,
Mm.
but I want the text to be like, we are a loving group of creatives, but I want the branding to be slightly rude. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
you know what I
okay.
mean? Like a little bit
PG rude
like
or like
like just kind of like in your face. You
in
know
your
what I
face?
mean?
Okay, unapologetic kind of
Very
thing. Is it just like
punchy,
a
very like boom,
yeah?
here we are. Um,
I
so
want to eat with no cutlery, just my hands. That kind of rude.
exactly,
That kind of rude.
exactly.
Okay,
I
I'm down for
spit
that.
sometimes, that kind of stuff. You know, like
Okay, I'm not expecting that,
I'm
but
not
yeah.
always a polite lady.
Oh, my mind is blown now, Val. All these 2 years of knowing you, it's completely changed.
I know
Anyway, back to
I'm
the
a
stream.
totally different lady than you thought I was. Okay, I this is one of the brand fonts that I've chosen, the Taranum, which I think is really cool, really bold.
Foreigner. Okay.
And so I'm gonna go ahead and say we can write like new merch drop. And I've kind of spaced it out because I think it would look really good if we did the dynamic here. Our dynamic text to kind of like line it up in like an interesting lockup. And then I think I want to use a bold color. So let's do like that. Let's come in, let's grab.
Whilst you're doing that, a question for the folks in the chat. I'm quite curious.
Yeah,
Is there
yeah.
anyone in the chat who are quite new to Adobe Express? Let us know if you've never done it before and this is the first time you're watching it, or if you're very new. Let us know, because it's always nice to still see where people are at, levels, and what they wanted to maybe produce in Express. So let us know if you are an Express extraordinaire or if it's just your very first time. Either way, you're welcome.
Yeah, I would love to know what other people are
font,
working on
good.
too. I almost am worried that maybe I shouldn't do the green on green on green, which is not something you ever hear,
I hear you. Yeah, yeah.
But I
It's still
almost am
legible
not.
though, right?
Yeah, it's
So, yeah.
legible. Like I'm not worried. And like the whole like Lich Please and then a lot of the other stickers that we've made around that time, there's like that green in it. So I almost wonder if it's like okay. But one of the things that we have to do as
Go on, tell us.
designers is
Yeah.
we have to learn to kind of do things and then release it, right? You got to just let it go. You have to kind of get to the point where you have your concept down, and then pull away and kind of move on to other things and do the polishing after, because I am so guilty of trying to do all the polishing
Yes.
as I go, and I get stuck in projects all the time. I get totally stuck completely, and I'm like, gosh, I've run out of time, or I don't have enough time to do this, or it's just not coming together. I think I do my best work when I trust the process. I throw stuff down and then I come back later and I touch it all up. So I'm just gonna, maybe the green is not great, maybe tomorrow I'll change it to purple or to charcoal or something, but that's a decision for tomorrow.
But I love that though. That's a really good way of seeing it because I mean, like, again, it'd be good to know in the chat, like, how do folks kind of operate when they're designing? Is it a case of you just kind of go with the flow? Are you a perfectionist? Just to answer
Yeah.
your kind of related to what you said. I mean, I try and go by like a bit of a timer because I can also get so fixated in designing
Hmm.
one thing that you're like, you know what, it's healthy just to move on, just move on, and then come back when you're fresh eyes, fresh new day, depending on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always healthy to know where you're at.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, I like the lockup for this, especially the link in bio one. I think that actually looks really cool in like how the Taranum is like really long. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna animate this one too. And we're gonna
Ooh,
do something that I kind of actually realized recently because I had used the typewriter before, which I just used earlier. But
okay.
typewriter actually has other settings, so you can do it by character, by word, or by line. And I think that doing it by
Ooh,
line is going to be so it's like
yeah.
boom, boom, boom,
Boom,
that
boom,
three
boom. Yeah.
tier,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
No
So we're
messing
gonna do
around. Cool.
that. I think I'm gonna animate. I think we're gonna set this to a second. Um, Maybe that's even too quick or too slow. Okay, perfect. And then we're gonna come over here, and we're gonna do the same thing to the new merch drop. Let's go ahead and go to animate in typewriter line, and we're gonna set this to 0.5, so it's like half a second. And then I'm gonna look and see how
Whilst
this.
you're doing that, it's a good time to mention. So we're already halfway through the stream, which is like, well, I don't know where the time has gone.
Oh
I
my
mean, I do know where the time
gosh.
has gone. We've been geeking out, which is a good place to do. So if you have just joined us, a massive welcome again if you're on YouTube or Behance. And today we have the wonderful creative streamer and community moderator for Adobe Live, Voodoo Val, who is showing us how to translate a brand assets in the beautiful Instagram feed. So yeah, welcome if you have just joined. And again, any questions you have for Val, anything related to Express, let us know in the chat box, and we will get to those.
Yeah, I would love to answer any questions anybody has. I'm gonna make this shorter, by the way, this whole animation. I think that it is a little long because what I want for this,
Hmm.
what I want is for it to be something that would be like really, really quick, you
Short
know?
and
So,
sweet. Okay.
and then you could
Yeah.
have like some atmospheric music in the back, maybe some
Hmm.
like some heavy metal or something, you know?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's like new
I love
merch
that.
drop.
Not
I don't.
Mozart number 12 or something like that. Just like, yeah, we're gonna go
Hey,
full power.
maybe
Yeah,
some
it could be. You never know.
Beethoven.
Me. I thought mix it up right, and then keeping with the whole
You know,
upside down
we could
universe. Yeah.
we can be like grungy, sassy, and classy if we
Yeah.
really brand it right.
It could be something quite It could be something quite sinister, I don't know, about having that kind of classical. Anyway, so I'm definitely geeking out now. But yeah,
No, that's
music
totally
wise, can come,
fine. Yeah.
that can come towards the. That's like cherry on a cake, isn't it? As it were, the music part.
Oh, you know
Um,
what? Jitter might be
yeah,
better for this, by the way. I think it's jitter. I don't think it's flicker.
jitters.
Yeah, because I don't want it to flicker in and out. I
Okay,
just want it to move. This one's better. New merch
okay.
drop.
Is that a
Dun dun
jitter one?
dun
Is it? Okay.
dun. Okay, and then the last thing we're gonna do is we are gonna put a another strange filter over it. We're gonna do
Hmm.
another like a VCR overlay, but I want to do a different one. Um,
Hmm.
we're gonna find that one might work. How long is this animation? 10 seconds. This one has got like some cute little like the play in the corner and stuff, and it's oriented for.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Yeah, this is great.
Like the play icon button, you mean like
Yeah, and it has like the the
record?
timestamp for
Yeah.
it and everything, but it's oriented for vertical, which is awesome. So
Ah.
we're gonna throw this
Cool.
on screen, or maybe multiply.
I'm getting like Blair
Um,
Witch Project kind of vibes.
yeah, me too. I'm
Yeah.
wondering though if this is. I'm gonna put it on screen. I think screen might make it a little too bright. Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can
Oh.
alter the colors for this a little bit because I really, really like this particular video.
Oh.
But I think we
Okay.
need to come in.
Amazing.
Let's go to duotone, and let's make the shadows dark, and let's make the highlights dark too. We're gonna make those highlights like that navy so that it's not crazy. Yeah, so then it kind of looks like a,
Oh,
you
okay.
know, like you know, I feel like I think it can be worked a little bit, but the concept is there, so we've got
Yeah,
that.
the foundation has been set. I like it.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got a couple different little animations
Mm.
and stuff here. I think too, something that I want to do is like kind of set up like, okay, we're going to have posts that are like purely informational. We're going to have some posts that are purely like, here is a new merchandise that we've done. We should also have like intro pages or intro posts and stuff if we're
Mm.
introing a new partner, introing ourselves and stuff, especially because it's going to be, you know, the first time we're really posting on social media. And so there's going to be a lot of different formats for stuff, but I think
Mm.
generally something that works really, really well. And I'm just going to come in here to, let's grab some shapes real quick. I'm just going to come in here and kind of mock up really what the grid could end up looking like. And the way I'm going to do
Mm.
that is I am going to create like 4 squares um, real quick that can resemble our little posts. And I'm going to start throwing stuff onto the shapes as if they're individual posts, and then I will select each of the little squares individually and put them onto their own page. I don't know if you've
Cool.
ever done this, but I do this all the time. Ooh, not that one.
I do. Yeah, I mean, I live my life by grids, right? Editorial. So yeah, it's just literally editorial design grids. It's yeah, nature of the beast.
Yeah, you know,
Um,
so I feel like you can kind of mock those grids and stuff up in Adobe
mm,
Express and then split them up into different designs if you want. So
mm.
it kind of works for how my brain functions. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do like a purple one.
That's why I absolutely love Adobe Live, because like how our creatives that we have obviously featured and guests is how their creative brains work basically, right? That's why you
Yeah,
folks are here to tune in, because we all have our different ways. So yeah, it's good to see.
I'm gonna see if I can, oops, snag all of
Whilst
these.
you're doing that as well, I can see. So we've got. So Jack's put a awesome post up, like a poll, I should say, about who uses Express. And actually,
Ooh,
the majority of folks in the stream seem to be using Express, which is cool. So I think you're in a place where a lot of folks have either done similar things that you've done before, or they're for the first time learning. But they're all very. They know the space quite well, which is good to see.
yeah, yeah.
They're no strangers to Express.
I've been using Express myself since before it was called Express. It used to be called Spark,
Before it was
right?
cool, I was using
Yeah.
Express. Before it was cool.
I'm super OG.
I don't want to be that person, but that's hilarious.
This is a
Oh
throwback
man,
stream,
yeah,
so
it definitely is, folks. That's hilarious.
um I'm gonna do like a little placeholder title here, and I'm also gonna lock it up the same way that we did the other ones, the dynamic, and I kind of want to do this in a different font. Let's do the Ben. I don't know how I say this. Is it Benguat? Benguat Pro? I don't know. I don't know how to
Think
say
what?
that. That's what it looks like. You guys have to tell me if
Look at my
how you,
glasses to read it. Mine's not quite small.
how I'm supposed to say the font name. But it's literally it's the actual Stranger Things dupe.
It literally is, to be fair.
It
So
literally
that
is, yeah,
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. That
yeah.
literally, yeah.
And it's a lot of fun to use. I use it all the time. I think it's great. But it's one of my favorites, and I also like to at least in Photoshop I like to outline it, because you know the Stranger Things always has like the outline text. We also I
So
think we
good.
also want to do some old throwbacks eventually, some old throwbacks and stuff to specific shows. Like I would really love to do like a sticker set inspired by like the Rugrats or something.
Oh my goodness me, we're going back.
Yeah,
Okay.
back.
Yes. That was way back.
Mm-hmm,
That was
mm-hmm.
yes. That was a in fact, it's good for the chat actually. Let us know some throwback shows or vibes, or even throwback branding from like shows that you watched maybe growing up. It'd be cool to know what folks watched growing up back up there as times as well.
Yeah, I
So
want to
yeah.
know. I want to know what your go-to shows were. Um, let's see. Oh, I kind of like that green
Even
and
like Fresh
red.
Prince of Bel-Air, that kind of like logo.
In
You know
West
which one.
Philadelphia,
Yeah.
born and raised. Yes.
I'm definitely going to continue the line, but I was just like, I want to start dancing on the stream. You
Well, I
keep
don't want
up.
us to
But
get,
yeah.
because I know that you and I both, we're known for our singing, and I don't want to get a copyright strike. You know?
Definitely known for our singing, 100%. If
Yeah.
you've seen our streams before, which I'm sure many of you have, then you will just know we'll break
Yeah.
out into someone
Me and
dance.
Karen,
But
we,
we'll,
we, we
yeah.
sing all the time. Every day, all day.
I love that.
Okay, so I kind of like, there's like a weird texture in the back. We have like a bold title for this square. I'm going to come up here to the lavender square, and I'm going to do something else weird. I think this could be one where we just have our QR code. Which, by the way, this QR code works. If you guys are
Oh,
interested to
ooh, scam.
follow our newsletter, we are getting our newsletter up and running. And you are more than welcome to test that
Yeah.
out. We're gonna
Scan away.
start shooting out emails pretty soon, and it's gonna be like nerd culture stuff, a lot of like tabletop gaming, video gaming stuff, if you're into it, but also kind of talking about new publications that are coming out, things that
Mm.
we wrote, stuff like that too. We're gonna be doing some writing projects together, so if you would like a
Ooh,
book
very
published
cool.
by yours truly, and my
Yes.
nerdy friends, definitely check out our QR code. Take a peek.
Yes. Do
Um,
it, my friends.
I would
There's me
love to
thinking
see you guys.
it was like a dummy QR code, but it's actually a legit
Yes.
working. You're not messing around in the stream today. I
I'm
like
not.
that.
I'm
Just
not
like
playing,
if we're gonna
Kieran.
go in, we're gonna go all in. Yes, Val.
I think I can also do the like. Yeah, I think we can do multiply, but I also kind of want to do there. So the QR codes are tricky, right? Because there's only so much that you can get away with when it comes to changing them up
Mm,
before perhaps it is unreadable.
yeah.
And I think that this will be okay, but I also you guys will have to tell me, like, since I'm doing it here, if you guys scan it,
Mm.
you guys can scan it and tell me if it
Yes,
still works.
interactive stream. I love that. Yeah, get your phones out, folks, and scan and see if it works. But obviously,
Yeah.
still obviously stay on the stream as well. Don't leave us, please.
Yeah.
Whatever you do,
Yeah.
because we'll just end up singing by ourselves on the stream, and no one
I
wants to hear
know.
that. So
And we perform
stay.
we prepared a whole performance to outro today. And you guys definitely don't want to miss it. You brought your shoes, didn't you,
Yes,
Karen? You brought your
I did, and my tuxedo is actually in the next room. So yeah, I'll get that sorted.
excellent, excellent, excellent.
Stranger Things themed, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Uh,
I'm just gonna put this logo
Anthony asked
right
on the
in
chat, did you
through
make that
here.
QR code in Express?
I did not make this QR code in Express. We did have a placeholder one that we made in Express before. However, Jasmine, she gets her QR codes in a different space, and she wanted to do it this way, so
Cool.
we decided to use these ones. But I have used the QR codes in Express. I use them
Mm.
frequently, in fact.
They're really useful. I use them as well, actually. They're really, really useful.
I actually love
Especially on
them.
like direct mail.
I actually really love them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have, this is like a weird purpley version of this, which I kind of, not gonna lie, kind of love. I think we're gonna grab a weird texture. We're gonna see how much texture we can get away with where when it comes to kind of editing the QR code. So I think
Mm.
let's go ahead and say screen. I kind of like this. So all the stuff we've been doing has
I'm
been
digging it.
like super dark, gritty.
Yeah.
This is gritty, but it is as bright as we can possibly make it with our current brand colors.
Yeah.
So I kind of like this. Just kind of creating that nifty little thing. And I would like to, if at all possible, I would like to create a group. Let's select all of this stuff. Let's group that all together. Yes. So now that's a group. The red one is a group. that works. And I'm realizing we're kind of coming up on what, like 10 minutes here
I was
too.
just gonna say like literally the final 10, which is wild. Which is actually a perfect time to mention again for those final any comments you got, those burning questions. Literally final 10 minutes. Let us know in the chat, and we will do our best to answer that for the final 10.
Yes. Do I like? I'm gonna find one more texture. I'm gonna be honest. I love this strange. It's almost like a oil spill kind of thing. This one is really nice. I also have this blue one that's really nice. I think we'll do the blue. Let's do this.
There's a question from organic.
Oh
So I think just to
yes.
answer your question about the QR code,
Mm-hmm.
why if you're changing colors, why is it tricky to read? And that's probably just down to legibility, right? On how phones read
Yeah.
and pick up. Mm.
Yes. So there's a lot of like, I mean, you can change the colors, you can do all kinds of stuff. We actually created a banner. We have been at if anybody has ever gone to the PAX convention, we went to PAX East in Boston, PAX West in Seattle, and then most recently, I didn't go, but our the rest of MPC was at PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia, and we have a
Mm.
banner that has the QR code that, and I've kind of turned the QR code into part of the artwork, and it still works, but it took some
Cool.
like we used different devices to try and make sure it was going to be legit. And I think
Mm.
really it's just, you know, how much can you alter it from its original state before it's not the QR code anymore,
Sure.
basically.
Yeah.
I really
And that's
like
probably a good
that.
like little tip for anyone who does use, if you can use QR codes and they say they're branding or any sort of direct mails that they're producing. Obviously, like Val said, you can customize, you can edit it, but the most important thing, it needs to be working and functional. So obviously,
Yes.
test, because you'd hate to put a lot of money in print and then it doesn't work. That's
Yeah.
horrible. So yeah,
And that was the
test, my friends.
scariest thing for me, man, was like,
Mm.
oh my God, what if I, what if I make this and I print it and like it works on my phone because like I made the banner and I started scanning it with my phone. I sent the graphic through Discord to like all of the team and was like,
Mm.
hey, does this work for you? And they were all like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm thinking, oh, that'll be fine. And then we got the banner and the banner was had like a difference in color
Ew.
to
Okay.
what we
Yeah,
had planned, and I was like, oh no,
that's
like
not cool.
I was kind of bummed out, but it worked. So we
Okay,
didn't,
good, good, good.
so you could read it. We had it at the
Okay.
event, and it worked fine.
You
But
give me
it's
a heart attack,
scary.
Valve, live on
Yeah,
the
I know,
stream.
I know.
I was
It's
like, that
scary.
story went from like that to that, and it's just like there's
Yeah,
so much emotions in
everything
that
was
story.
awful, and then it was fine.
Then it was okay.
Ta-da!
Panic over.
Yeah, it definitely can be scary when you start printing stuff, and some things must be printed in a very
Mm.
particular way in order for it to come out properly. So I was definitely freaking out, um,
And then it
but
worked.
it worked.
Mm.
Yes.
Happy days.
All right, I'm
So this is our
gonna
body
do.
text, body copy panel. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one more because I know we're coming up on time here. And I think I'll just do like this, and I'm going to put some text, and then I'm going to split these up. And I think by the end of it, we will have like a pretty good chunk of like starting posts that will work for our brand. I'm going to use my body text that I like for this. We're going to say, I'm just going to duplicate this. Sometimes this is what I do because it gives you like a little placeholder.
Mm.
I'm just going to do this. And I'm going to make this smaller. Just duplicate that in there. And then I'm going to make that like, there's a paragraph. So I'm going to throw this in here. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but I know that it would be really cool to have like a little paragraph nestled somewhere
Mm.
on here. And I might even change how the type is set. We can come in and go like, let's do line spacing.
Nice.
And it might even be really cool like if this were to hang off, which we can't really do it,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
you know, something like that.
Mm,
And in
mm,
fact, this is pretty much finished. So I'm gonna say copy, and I'm gonna do what I said I would do, and that is let's come over here. Is that a square? I don't know if that's a square or not. I'm not sure. But we're gonna add. Let's add one in here. Let's put that right there, and I'm just gonna straighten it out. See, so I kind of like to make a bunch of posts all in one thing, just so I can look at it all together, and I don't have to continue to go back and look at
mm,
my my pages in the grid. Sometimes I like to be able to see everything all at once.
mm.
I'm not mad at that. I can see the potential in it. It definitely needs some work, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not not good, you know.
Of course,
So
and it's a
that'll
live
work.
stream. I mean, you've obviously it's one of those ones where designing live, talking live. Obviously, there's a lot going on, right? So we've made it
Yeah,
work in that space. We've got an interesting question actually, perhaps before we close up.
yeah.
From Nate, who said, going back to the QR code actually, Pat.
Hmm.
Is it better to make a QR code in Express and then take it into Photoshop and convert to CMYK?
That is, you
Yeah.
could do
What's your
that.
thoughts on it?
You could
Mm,
definitely do that. What I have done before, like especially if I want to make something that is like super large, is I've brought QR codes in effort to alter them for different kinds of print, to
mm,
change the colors to like brand colors that are going to be a little wacky and crazy. I think that yeah, you can edit QR codes however you like. You just have
mm.
to like discern like is this still the same image? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
cuz I could do a lot of changes to the QR code, but if the edges of it are too light and they're not really showing those defined shapes anymore, is it the QR code that I started with? So you
It
just
becomes an
you know,
issue. Yeah.
yeah, edit however you like, but keep that
Mm,
in mind. Okay, I'm going to delete this
yeah.
one now because now I've
Whilst you're doing
got
that, just to add as well, also the file type is important as well because if you can get it as an EPS or any
mhm.
vector, that will be amazing because then you can really have a bit more flexibility and you can play, you can enlarge, change color. You can work with PNG or a JPEG, but yeah, a good old fashioned EPS is sometimes a bit nicer.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Um, I think that we have created a lot of stuff today. I
That's a
think we
strong
have.
archive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing. I'm not sure how I feel about this one, to be honest.
The
I
original from the beginning. I loved that
yeah,
from the
like
start.
this one I'm kind of iffy on, but I like all the other stuff and I think that when I look at the overview of this,
Mm,
I can say to myself, okay, I have a starting place to kind of come in and change everything. As we like move through and actually start posting on the social media too, like in this case,
mm,
it's me and my friends. But if you were, you know, kind of translating any of this stuff to client work and stuff, you will also have copy. You will have
yes.
brand context and stuff, things that you can build and structure your posts around. I
Mm,
always like to make a bunch of like a spread of loose posts that could be transformed into anything. Um, all looking like it belongs with the same brand in various colors. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll come in and have multiple pages. Like if I like this placeholder title thing here, maybe
mm.
I'll have several more pages that's basically this same thing, but in different colorways for the brand,
Yeah,
you know?
I heard that.
um,
Yeah.
and that'll work. Stuff like that. And another thing that you
Mm,
can do, I don't know if any of you guys have tried this, but you can also add comments into a lot of your pieces now.
yes.
You can share for comments. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. You can share for comments, and you can click on something. So like I've selected my MPC logo here, and I can come up and add a comment specifically on that piece. Um,
Mm.
so I can say, love this, but I don't know why I'm in caps. I'm not trying to be
Just
mean.
shouting. I love it,
This,
but it's like
but
calm
can
down.
we make it red? You know, so
Make
I
it
could
pop.
do that, and it'll show
Mm,
up. You can see it. We have our little comment thing here, so it'll show up as you share to your clients, to your maybe trusted advisors, trusted buddies who
Mm,
take a look at your work. You can go in and actually not just see comments and reviews and questions and things on it, but you can actually see where those comments are in your file, so you can see what
mm,
they're commenting on and all that kind of stuff. So you can share it the same way that you typically share, and it will allow other people. You can share like anyone with the link, or only invited people, and you
mm,
can allow them either to edit or just to comment. If you want.
mm.
But stuff like that makes it really easy.
Yeah.
So I could send this all over to Jasmine and Flaxer, and they could be like, "Oh yeah, I really like the merch thing here. That's really cool. But why is it so green?" You know what I mean? Like we could do that.
It started off so positive, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
of course, and of course, like you said, I mean, that encourages engagement and to collaborate as well, which is what we do on Adobe Live, right? To
Yep.
collaborate and to encourage. So I feel like that's the time,
Yep.
Val. I
It
feel
is
like,
time.
I mean, it's absolutely swelled by. But again, it's been an absolute pleasure to finally host you because it's been a long time coming.
I
We have to return
know.
the vote. It's been so cool to finally host you.
Thank you so much,
And
Kieran.
the chat has been active as usual, guys. You never let us down. So thank you for joining us on this awesome stream. So just a quick roundup. So up next, we're going to have the legend that is Ryan Selvey for creative news. He'll be keeping us posted and updated on all things happening on this creative changing community. So Val, on that note, thank you for being an awesome guest.
Thank
And
you for
yeah,
being a
chat. We'll
wonderful
see you
host.
hopefully. Thank you, and we'll see you all very soon. Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Ciao. Bye.